Hey, what's up, NFL nerds? We're back with another NFL video. Before I get started, make sure you're a member of the Nerd Squad and subscribe. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I post frequent off-season updates on there. Goal is to be at 100 subscribers by the time the NFL draft starts. So make sure you become a member of the Nerd Squad. Hey, what's up, Nerd Squad? We're back with another NFL video. Now, we have kind of a different video here today. We're going to be ranking the NFL quarterbacks right now. Now, this will be a mixture of how these quarterbacks did in 2019, mixed with how I think they'll do in 2020, kind of a prediction thing. And as well as there'll be some quarterbacks here that aren't currently on an NFL team. For instance, I have Cam Newton here. If you saw my previous video, you saw that I predicted him going to the New England Patriots. I also have Tua Tagovailoa right here. I have him going to the Dolphins. I have Justin Herbert here, have him predicted going to the Chargers. Joe Burrow to the Bengals. Yeah, I believe that is everything I have on a different team, so let's jump right into it. I'm going to go from worst to best, so let's jump right into it. Number 32, I have Dwayne Haskins. Now, before I expand on it anymore, these first 10 here were really hard for me to put together because a lot of these guys I feel like have around the same level of talent, and it was really difficult putting together a list saying who is, worse or better than each other. So if someone here is, lower than expected or higher than expected, please leave your opinion in the comment section below, but don't get offended if I didn't put your guy number 1 overall. But number 32 here, I have Dwayne Haskins. Coming out of the draft, I thought he was going to have a good rookie year. I thought he was going to be, pretty underrated. I thought he was going to be one of the higher performing rookies. And, well, I was really disappointed. He had a really disappointing rookie year. I didn't really see a lot of promise from him. But that could also change this next year. But I do still predict him to be technically the worst quarterback in the league. Number 31, here I have Mitch Trubisky. 2018, he had an alright year. But other than that, every year's just been mediocre at best. I don't think he really... I don't know. After, what has it been, 3 years that he's played now? I think 3 years. He just hasn't gotten all that much better, and I think we're at a stage now where we can start calling him a bust. So, Mitch Trubisky there. Number 30, I have Justin Herbert with the Chargers. Now, I have him this low just because we haven't seen anything from him in the NFL. And out of these rookies that I have starting, I think he will have the worst season. Now, I'm not saying he'll have a bad season. Just not as good of a season as some of these other rookies. So, Justin Herbert, number 30. Number 29, I have Sam Darnold. Now, I've never really been real high on Sam Darnold. I feel like he's starting to become a little bit overrated. I feel like a lot of people are trying to put him too high up, and quite frankly, I don't think he's as good as everybody rates him. He had a good weapon in Robbie Anderson. as well as Le'Veon Bell, couldn't really make much of it. So, yeah, that's why I have him so low there. I don't see much potential for him there. Next, I have Drew Lock. Now, here, I could see him actually having a better season than predicted. The Broncos have some good weapons. They just added a new one in Melvin Gordon. If I'm not mistaken, didn't they sign a wide receiver in free agency as well? I feel like they did. If not, I think there's a good chance they'll draft like Henry Ruggs, or if he falls to them by chance, maybe Jerry Jeudy. So I could see him having some good weapons there and having a good season. You know, their offensive line isn't, bad. They have a pretty good offensive line, so I think he'll have an alright season. At number 27, I have Gardner Minshew. He had a really good rookie year. I think surprised a lot of us. Definitely became a fan favorite really quickly. Now, I debated actually putting him higher up on this list. But I feel like there's so many quarterbacks now in the league that are, getting noticeably better. And I think 27 is a good spot for him right now. Number 26, I have Daniel Jones. He surprised me his rookie year. I did not think he was going to be that great. I, much like a lot of other fans, was disappointed in the Giants when they picked him. I think he had a pretty good season, other than all of his fumbles and stuff, which that's definitely something, you can improve on, and I think he will. I think he had a good rookie year. I think he'll continue to get better and be a good franchise guy for the Giants. Number 25, I have Baker Mayfield. He had a really good rookie year, but had a really bad sophomore slump. Even with adding Odell and having, in my opinion, a top 5 running back in Nick Chubb, he still wasn't able to do much. Even had Kareem Hunt as another receiving threat as well. So that's why I have him so low. He could potentially rise a lot, but we've seen, even with, some good weapons, he's just not what we expected him to be. Number 24, now tell me if I have him a little bit too high here. I have Joe Burrow with the Bengals. Now, I have him this high because the Bengals got a lot of other good additions this offseason. They still have AJ Green. As far as I know of, he's healthy, but that could also change quite a bit. They have Tyler Boyd, I think is his name. They have Auden Tate. They've definitely got some good, offensive weapons there. I think he'll have a pretty good season. Not as high on him as some other people, because I think going from a top tier college system to a kind of a beaten down NFL offense, I don't see him quite being a top tier quarterback yet. 23, I have Jared Goff. This is mostly because of his loss of weapons. They lost Todd Gurley. There's rumors that Brandon Cooks wants out. We'll see if that happens. Cooper Kupp, we'll see if he can stay healthy for an entire season. Robert Woods has lately honestly been the most dependable guy there, so we'll see what happens with that. 22, I have Phillip Rivers with the Colts. Now, I debated putting him even lower, um, but I kind of looked back at Phillip Rivers' whole career, and really 2019 was his only bad year. I think under a new system, I think he'll have a little bit better of a season. And I'm not expecting him to, you know, go off for 40 touchdowns and, 5,000 passing yards. Not expecting that by any means. But I think he'll have a better season than he did in 2019, and I think he'll make a little bit of an improvement there. Number 21, I actually have Tua Tagovailoa. Now, I have him with the Dolphins. I actually have him as... Now, spoiler alert, I have him as an early predicted Offensive Player of the Year for 2020. Or, sorry, not. Offensive Rookie of the Year. My bad. My mistake. Offensive Rookie of the Year for 2020. He has a good weapon there in Devontae Parker. I have a feeling they'll draft a running back with one of their first-round picks, unless they were to trade up for Joe Burrow, which there's rumors they could, but for now, I have them with the Dolphins. The Dolphins are kind of an interesting team. Second half of this last season, they started putting things together and winning some games. I think if Tua shows out, I think they could actually have a pretty good team, to be honest. So, number 20, I have Derek Carr. Had kind of an interesting season. He had some games that he played phenomenally, but then had some games that, kind of played like the same old Derek Carr that, just been average. So, not really sure where else to put him. I think a slightly below average quarterback is where I'd put him right now. Number 19, Number 19, I put Teddy Bridgewater. He's with the Carolina Panthers now. I think this is a good fit for him, especially under Joe Brady's offensive system. I think he'll be able to run it really well. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think Cam Newton would have been better with them. I think he has, a big hunger to get back to playing really well. I think he's going to have a really good 2020 season. I'm predicting that right now. He's going to have a good 2020 season. Number 18, I have Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, the 49ers had a crazy good 2019 season, and Jimmy Garoppolo was alright there, but let's be real, they didn't win 13 games because of Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he kind of turned into more of a game manager type of guy there, and I just don't really see him as a top quarterback. Number 17, I have Tom Brady. A lot of people are going to be questioning this. I think he took a big step back in 2019. I think he is a system quarterback. I don't think he'll do as good with coaching in Tampa Bay as he did in New England, because he had Bill Belichick as his coach. That guy's an evil mastermind. In my opinion, really, one of the best coaches of all time. I'd put him top 3. Now, yeah, he has more weapons in Tampa Bay, but coaching goes a long ways. So I have him at number 17. Number 16, I have Kyler Murray. I debated putting him even higher than that. Offensive Rookie of the Year, obviously. Really impressed me. The guy can freaking run. He's fast. He's able to extend plays. He still had, what, like 3,700 passing yards, if I'm not mistaken. Now with having DeAndre Hopkins, I think that'll take their offense to an even higher level. So I think Kyler Murray will have a really good 2020 season. Next, I have Matt Ryan. Now, Matt Ryan's a confusing quarterback. It seems like anytime I call him underrated, he starts playing badly. Anytime I start calling him overrated, he starts playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So, we'll see what happens there. I think he's getting a little bit older, and with losing Austin Hooper, I just don't really see him being quite a top-tier quarterback, but he'll still be, good because of the offense he has. Number 14, I have Carson Wentz. Not much I can really say here. I think he's a little bit above average of a quarterback. Really injury prone, but he could have a bounce back year in 2020, but we'll see about that. Number 13, I have Cam Newton with the Patriots. I'm serious when I say I think he's going to have a good 2020. He has been working his ass off. Now, as a Panthers fan, I really want him back, but even on a team like the Patriots, I really want him to succeed, and I think he will. I think he has that hunger for, getting back to MVP-like playing, and I think he's going to have an awesome 2020 season. I really do. Number 12, I have Ben Roethlisberger. He didn't really play much in 2019 because of an injury. Now, I don't think he'll come back and be a top 5 quarterback, but with some of these, talented young wide receivers and a good offensive line, I think he'll still put up somewhere in the range of 4,500 passing yards and, we'll say, 25 touchdowns, maybe up to 30. I think he'll get back to being a good quarterback, but doesn't have many good years left in him. So, number 11, I have Dak Prescott. Now, I debated between putting Josh Allen and Ryan Tannehill here. They're all kind of tied there with me. I think Dak Prescott, for the amount of weapons he has, I think he needs to be better. Yeah, he has good stats, but hasn't really shown he can be clutch enough, in my opinion. So, have him number 11. Number 10, I have Josh Allen. He is getting better and better and better. Now he has weapons like Stephon Diggs. Devin Singletary is a good running back for him. John Brown, Cole Beasley. What's our tight end's name? Dawson Knox, I think. They have some good weapons there. I think he's going to have a really good 2020 season. Next, Ryan Tannehill. We saw this year that he does well in that Tennessee Titans system. I think it honestly helped Derrick Henry to even bring his playing to a higher level. Yeah, I think he's going to be a top 10 quarterback next year. Next, I have Matt Stafford. Now, some people might think I'm a little bit too high on him. He was having a borderline MVP season in 2019 before he got injured. If I remember right, his stat line was 19 touchdowns to... Now, don't quote me on this. I want to say 5 interceptions, if I'm not mistaken there. Always been a really underrated quarterback, and I think will continue to be pretty underrated. Number 7, wasn't sure if I should put Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins here. I went ahead and put Aaron Rodgers because he is getting up there in age a little bit. I think Kirk Cousins is starting to get quite a bit better. Now I know he lost a good weapon in Stephon Diggs, and that will, I think, take his playing ability down a little bit. But yeah, I went ahead and put Aaron Rodgers at number 7. He'll have a good 2020 season, but not anything special. I don't think they'll go 13-3 again. I don't think he'll be necessarily anything special in 2020. Number 6, I have Kirk Cousins. Like I said, he's getting better, showing he can do pretty well in that Minnesota system. I would fully expect them to get another good wide receiver this year. In fact, I could see them trading up in the draft to possibly get CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy or Henry Ruggs. So keep an eye out for that. I think that'll be cool. Number 5, I have Deshaun Watson. He was an MVP candidate for me in 2019. No, obviously he doesn't have DeAndre Hopkins anymore, and there's been rumors about him even wanting out of Houston, but for now, I have him at number 5 for the Texans. I think he'll still have a good year, but let's wait and see what happens there. Number 4, I have Drew Brees. Now, it's hard putting him this high because he's starting to get older, but he continues to show me that despite being, 41 years old now, he's still playing like a top quarterback right now. Sean Payton's an incredible coach. He still has a top weapon in Michael Thomas. I think he'll still be a top 5 quarterback this next year. Number 3, I have Russell Wilson. Been getting better each year. Getting more mobile, more accurate, being able to throw deeper. I cannot express how good Russell Wilson really is. So, number 2, I have Lamar Jackson. I debated putting him here at number 1, but he may be the most exciting player to watch, but a quarterback's ultimate job is to be able to pass. Now, granted, I like mobile quarterbacks more, but I don't think he's quite as accurate as this number 1 guy and isn't as clutch as this number 1 guy. By now, you know who I'm talking about. Number 1, I have Patrick Mahomes. Despite missing some time in 2019, put up over 4,000 passing yards. I want to say 26 touchdowns. I think if he wasn't injured, he'd honestly put up somewhere in the range of 34, 35 touchdowns and about 4,600 passing yards. This guy's exciting to watch. Obviously won the Super Bowl this last year. I think there's more to come. But anyways, guys, let me know what you thought about this list. Let me know what you would change. Heck, let me know if this list was complete trash and you would completely disagree with it. But anyways, let me know your opinions, and I will see you next time. Later.